Yeah, I mean, life is political.
Well, if it's political, you have to be outside the 100-foot range there.
We doing everything that we could do is what we always do.
Okay.
All right, have fun. Everybody I know say they too broke to vote. And with all this heavy slave mentality, we could have broke the boat. Nobody cares about me, nobody cares about my family, nobody cares about my folks, and nobody gets my vote. Nobody for president. That's my campaign slogan. We got money for wars, but we can't feed our homeless. The government is hopeless. It's like a reality show. Real Lives of the House Liars starring Anglo-Saxon Christians. Change the channel, sound like a bunch of arguing bitches. Switch up the game show, America's Next Top Corrupt Judicial System. For instance, I'm saying, look at my options. Voting for office is like picking out which gun you want to get shot with. These politicians think they battle rappers and they swear they spitting that hot shit. Gun control, abortion, civil liberties, extortion, energy, the economy, immigration, global warming. But I ain't feeling the burn. And hell no, I'll never get Trump. The Clintons had their chance with me. They the reason my cousin's still locked up. Mass incarceration still fucked up. 3 strikes get you 25 to life, nigga, good luck. Fuck your future, fuck your daddy, fuck your rights, fuck your mentality. In actuality, the Constitution said I was just 3/5 of a man, so what's stopping them from saying that again? The top 3% over the 13th Amendment, minus the 40 acres plus the rest of my reparations? Yeah, they doing that new government mad. Watergate the Whitewater, call that the government bad. The law was we couldn't even use the same bathrooms. Back then, where was your government at? Behind our back, ingesting, cracking it up. Yup, the government laughed. But in our face, they want to cry and sob and wonder why we shoot and rob. Guess what? Nothing stops a bullet like a job. And we can't elect without no college. And don't even get me started about the electoral college. I mean, let's be honest, that's how they really choose the president, and that's facts. They got y'all confused with these views from these Republicans and Democrats. Liberals and conservatives, man, I ain't none of that. I'm hungry. Where the money at? Because I'm too broke to vote. I'm too broke to cope. I ain't trying to check no ballots. I'm trying to check this balance on these checking accounts. And y'all being careful double checking accounts, but just like in Florida, it's gonna be another miscount. As soon as they get to this amount, they're gonna try to dismount. Yeah, flipping sides back and forth, it's political gymnastics. Just like Olympic acrobats go for the gold, because that's who makes the rules. All this pageantry is just designed for fools. They gonna give you who they choose. Too big to fail, too rich to lose, and I'm still too broke to vote. So how do we fix it then? Give her away. In the end is where it begins. So I vote we return this country back to its original owners, the Native Americans. It's incredible!
Nearly 250 years after Africans were first landed on America's shores, the Supreme Court of the United States would proclaim that blacks, by virtue of their race, were not persons before the law. In 1857, in a landmark decision, the Supreme Court ruled in the Dred Scott case that Congress had no authority to limit the spread of slavery to any territory. The Chief Justice's words stunned African Americans.
Roger B. Tawney, a Southerner, reads a decision that says that Dred Scott, as a black person, and black people generally, had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect. people generally had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect. Have no rights which white men are bound to respect. Black people generally had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect.
Welcome to Supreme Court Cases, Precedent Cases, Part 3. We're not going to look at a case this time that is still precedent in our country, but we are going to look at one that was very important. Dred Scott v. Sanford, decided in 1857, was when Dred Scott brought suit against his master, who moved him into free territory as a slave. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that people of African ancestry are not considered citizens in our Constitution. Therefore, he has no right to bring this case to the Supreme Court. This would ultimately be overturned in 1868 with the passage of the 14th Amendment, which provided equal protection under the law for all people of the United States.
Nearly 250 years after Africans were first landed on America's shores, the Supreme Court of the United States would proclaim that blacks, by virtue of their race, were not persons before the law. In 1857, in a landmark decision, the Supreme Court ruled in the Dred Scott case that Congress had no authority to limit the spread of slavery to any territory. The Chief Justice's words stunned African Americans.
Roger B. Tawney, a Southerner, reads a decision that says that Dred Scott, as a black person, and black people generally, had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect.
Rhymes, and I have just been informed by the sheriff deputy that is behind me to my right. And I was informed that our trespass warrant has been issued against me here in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia, not to enter any area of Lowndes County High School property. This came as a complete shock to me, based upon what I just been told by this deputy, that I could have been arrested at any time. I was out there on property a few days ago, putting up a podium, walking on the property, not knowing that a warrant had been issued or banning me from Lowndes County High School here in the state of Georgia and in the United States of America. I have never violated any law here in Valdosta and Lowndes County that is recorded in record that I am aware of. And so I called the Justice League, Bobby Worthy, to inform him of what has happened. This is a continuous practice. This is about the fourth time that I've had problem with law enforcement. The Lowndes County Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Prime. We must make documentation that I, George Buster Rhymes, have violated no law in Lowndes County. Yet I have been issued a warrant not to go on Lowndes County taxpaying property, wherein there was a public meeting this morning, I was told, that there was a Board of Education meeting on this area, the old field house, in the old field house. So I believe there's a great possibility that my constitutional rights have been denied. Again, I did not violate any law, yet they say that a warrant have been issued banning me from any area of Lowndes County High School. If I had a relative, which I do have some people that graduate today, I can't even go to the graduation to little Terry because I have been banned from this school by a warrant that I knew absolutely nothing about. Thank God I didn't go to this graduation because I would have been arrested according to this deputy right here. Once again, I am George Boston Rhines, and I do hope that C.B. King, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the Department of Justice, Eric Holder, and others will understand what the people here in South Georgia are going through while they ignore us. Why?
2 weeks ago, and he's not allowed to be on the property by order of Wes Taylor. Okay. Well, no, you know me, man. I'm a vibe, but I'll do the exact question. You go in this area, get arrested, okay? Okay, what can I do? You either can stay right here. Okay, they got a public meeting down here, so you're telling me I can't go to the public meeting? I do not know anything. I got you, but there's a public meeting. All I'm saying is, I'm not going. I understand that, but what I'm saying is that there's a public meeting down here, so you all telling me that I cannot go to a public meeting, and I haven't violated no law. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do like you say, but you have a criminal trespass warning for the area of Lowndes High School. Okay. Everybody, all of us do. No, I do. As far as I know, it's just. Is that right? As far as I know. Okay, I don't want to hold up traffic. So what you want me to do? What you want me to do, bro? Go back out this way. Okay, man, it's gonna be interesting in court.
I'm a minister at the First Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, and my grandchildren attend school out there. And there were some things that I was kind of concerned about because I had asked a gentleman by the name of George Boston Rhines to come in and video my granddaughter's graduation, and he was stopped and said he wasn't allowed to come on the premises, and we was trying to find out what had he done that he couldn't come out there.
He was stopped by who?
By the sheriff's department. He said that he was given orders by you guys that he wasn't allowed on the premises.
Okay. I think that may be something you'd have to take up with the sheriff's department.
Okay. So you guys, it's okay if he come out to the premises if something come up?
No, sir. What I'm saying is I believe that there was, and I don't know what they called it, some sort of order based on something that happened in the past that I believe that there's something in place. And again, I think either he would need to discuss
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Now here I am, a retired military veteran with over 20 years in the United States Armed Forces, fighting for the rights of foreigners, only to come home to be restricted from going to a graduation here in Lowndes County, and I'm mad as hell about it. I could have died in Vietnam. I could have died in Kuwait and other places. And so they just happen to be passing by. And I just want everybody to know, this is serious. It's not about just Kendrick Johnson no more. It's about all of these people in Valdosta and Lowndes County that have been treated like this. And the Justice Department, the governor of the state of Georgia, the president of the United States, the Congress, the Senate, we need help down here.
Black people generally had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect. Black people generally had never been, were not then, could never be citizens of the United States, and as such have no rights which white men are bound to respect.
This is KBCI.blogspot.com. I'm George Boston Rhymes in Valdosta, Georgia. Once again, you know there's a lot of controversy about Kendrick Johnson and the movement. While we don't want to talk about black and white issues, we don't want to talk about race, but here in Valdosta and Lowndes County, Georgia, I must say that it is what it is. Now, while sitting here at a restaurant, I received a phone call. I heard about this yesterday, but I didn't have what Paul Harvey called the rest of the story. And you know me, I want you all to have the rest of the story because you deserve to know the rest of the story. Now yesterday, I'm not gonna get into my problem because you already know. The sheriff department told me that I had been issued 2 weeks ago a trespass warrant and not to be on any part of Lowndes County school property. I have violated no law. I have not abused any child. I have not burglarized any building. I'm not a thief. I'm a retired military veteran that put over 20 years in the United States Armed Forces. Now, why are you here, George? Why are you standing in front or behind this black automobile? That's very interesting. Come here, my beautiful brother. This is what we intend to do in coming months. We are going to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that something is seriously wrong here in Valdosta, Georgia. Now you tell me what happened. You telling me that the Lowndes County Sheriff's deputy said something to you yesterday? What did they say to you yesterday?
Well, when I pulled in, as I was pulling in, it was one stand at the front gate.
All right, when you was pulling into the Lowndes County High school, the graduation ceremony that I was denied and banned from, I couldn't even attend that. That's what you're talking about, right?
Right.
Okay, did you have a shirt on with Kendrick Johnson like this? All right, what else did you have?
This sign.
Oh, you was holding the sign up?
No,
It was in the car. Where about in the car? Just laying in the seat or in the glass? You had it laying right there. All right, then what happened? All right, but what happened?
When I pulled in, one at the front gate.
You talk a little louder, we want everybody here.
When I pulled in, the one at the front gate, he called on the radio. So as I pulled in and got to the back of the car, as soon as I parked, another one.
Another deputy. Okay, talk to him. Go ahead.
Ran up to the car. Like, as I'm getting out of the car, he walking towards the car. And he like, sir, come here. So I'm like, what's going on? So he was like, what's your name? I was like, why? I did something wrong?
Yes, sir.
So he was like, you know, I just, what's your name? So I was like, I told him his name. So he was like, that sign in the window, you got to take it down. I was like, the sign in the window?
Okay, you telling me that the sign that you have in the window, which everybody have been seeing about...
No, not that one.
Not that one. This one. This is the one. Okay, that's the...
It was folded on the dashboard.
Okay.
On the front dashboard.
Okay.
Not blocking no views or nothing.
Okay.
It was folded in the dashboard.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, he like, you got to take the sign down.
Okay.
Out the window.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, now I said, no problem. I said, no more the graduation sign.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I pulled it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, you can't take that in.
Okay. Now, you're saying that, well, hold on a minute. Hold us out now. It says, what it says? Congrats, Mark, Justice for KJ. That's what you had.
Right.
Okay. Did anybody else have any other signs in there for graduates? A lot of signs was in there. Okay, so you think that you had a right to have this sign, what you're saying? Yeah. So you were denied the right, I guess, kind of like me, not to have this sign in there.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, my brother.
Okay. So I was like, huh? So he was like, you can't take that sign in there. So I was like, okay, no problem. So I was grabbing the rest of my stuff. As I'm grabbing the rest of my stuff, he walking around the car with his little notepad out. He looking at the sign, he's like, you gotta remove that.
Okay, all right. Now, so you're saying that he wanted you to move the sign from the front of the car.
Yeah.
Then he was telling you to move this sign. Why did he say you had to move this sign?
It's not permitted.
It was not permitted? Wait now. What I want to ask you, I want to make it clear. Did he say that it was not permitted because it was blocking your view as a driver? Or was it not permitted because you was on Lowndes County school property? What do you think it was?
No, it ain't what I think it was. Exactly what he said.
Okay, what did he say?
It wasn't permitted on the property.
That sign was not permitted on the property?
That's what he said.
Okay.
So I'm like, huh? What you mean? So he was like, look, I'm just doing what I was told. I say, don't blow it. So I said, okay, all right. We walked off. I was acting like I was taking it down, but I didn't take it down.
Yes, sir.
Came back.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to prove that. So I'm not going to ask you again.
I'm not going to ask you again what he said, okay? Yeah. What was his attitude? He more direct, probably, right?
He was straight up direct.
Straight up.
I ain't going to say he was disrespectful.
Right, absolutely. You know, but he was direct. He let you knew that he undoubtedly he had gotten his orders from somebody as an officer. That's why I didn't blame the officer with me. I knew that he had gotten his orders from somewhere. I found out that the school superintendent, Wes Taylor, was the one that apparently have given me some type of restrictive ban from going on any county property. I guess it's kind of like the old slave-like plantation type mentality. In other words, there was an 1860 charter that was on Valdosta City Hall, the second floor, article, paragraph 100, section 11, that said, and it was up until 2004, it said that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control of slaves and free persons of color, and to control, suppress, and abate all nuisances arising from hogs, dogs, horses, and other animals. I asked the mayor, former mayor John Freddy, to remove it, and the council members, and they reluctantly, and I do mean reluctantly, took it down to locations unknown. And so, once again, my rights were violated. I called the Justice League. I also called C.B. King, the attorney out of Albany, told me, gave me some instructions, and I'm going to follow those instructions. I've also let the Justice Department know about it, and I think that you all may need to let C.B. King as well know about your situation, or some attorney. In Valdosta, we know that this is nothing new. We know that this has been going on for just too long, and it's time now for people here in Valdosta and South Georgia in general to get some type of normal lifestyle as other people in the state of Georgia and the United States of America. Anything else you want to say?
Not really. It's just, oh, yeah. I was explaining the situation to a relative on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And doing so, I'm not going to say her name, but a young lady was walking. You know what I'm saying? She overheard my conversation. And she was like, man, that ain't surprising. She said, I'm going to tell you straight up, the name KJ Johnson, KJ, man, that's like banned from around here. I said, what you mean banned? She was like, man, certain classrooms, man, if you say the name Kitty Johnson, KJ, you get in trouble. She say, I know somebody, you know what I'm saying, people, they were sitting there, the phone went off, and they were playing the song. We won't announce it. You know what I'm saying? Kitty Johnson name. And got wrote up. And the write-up said, student was in class, phone went off playing the Kitty Johnson song. They tried to give it to their OS.
Did she get it?
What is OSS? I don't know. I don't know.
We need to find her. Listen, everybody that get a copy of this on YouTube, number one, if you have information concerning Mr. KJ and what happened at Lowndes County High School, people need to know about it. If you were mistreated, if you was praised and given warm fuzzies by any member of law enforcement, we need to know that as well. There is something that must happen here in Valdosta and Lowndes County. We must know. Please understand this, my beautiful brothers. I'm not wasting my time. I don't get paid for this. But I put my life on the line. Could have been killed in Vietnam, in Kuwait, in Iraq, in these war-torn areas. And I must stand up for my children, my grandchildren, my neighbor across the street. And don't fool yourself now. Don't fool yourself. If your pastor, your bishop, if your imam in Islam, or if your rabbi in Judaism will not stand up for the principles of what's right, what good are they to us? We all want to go to heaven. But before we get to heaven, my friends, we need jobs. We need to get some of these contracts. We need HUD to respect Section 3 in the poor economic communities. John Robinson and myself have gone to the HUD office in Atlanta 3 times, and you can't tell me that it all ain't intertwined together. John Robinson said on the next video that there got to be change here from the good old boy system to include all of us. Now, yes, I don't want to get into let me stick with this because y'all know me. Now, you didn't have nothing you want to say, sister? Now we have somebody else over here, and she was the one who spearheaded this, but we're not going to say nothing to him. We may be saving hers for a greater punchline at a later date. So my beautiful brother, what's your name?
My name is Jack.
Jay?
Jack.
Jack? Jack, appreciate you, man. I see you wearing a shirt. Why you wear that shirt, by the way, man?
Oh, I got to keep going. I'll always represent.
You're always going to represent. Thank you very much. Once again, this is George Boston Rhymes here in Valdosta, Georgia. When Bobby Worthy, who is the president and CEO of Justice League United out of Blackshear, Georgia, he just called me, told me that they're about their situation. And I got it on YouTube. And by all of my listeners who watch this, I need you to post this on Twitter. In every area that you can get it, post it. We need other people to call the Justice League United. I don't know about the other civil rights organizations outside of the National Action Network, but I do say call Al Sharpton and the Justice League because they have already took a foot and put it down in Lowndes County, and we need more support. Thank you for coming forward. Thank you for your courage, and we're going to continue to do what we do. Tell Bobby Worthy I appreciate what he's doing.
Just for KJ.
Thank you. Just for KJ. Thank you, sir. Once again, it's kvci.blogspot.com, George Boston Rhyme, YouTube, Boston G.B.R. It's not about race, y'all. I brought the dolls out, but it's not about race. It's not about black and white. No. It's not about black and white. It's about right. It's about right. And never forget that black people had to fight just to go into the restroom to use a little small strip of toilet tissue. And if we had to fight for that, go to jail, then we sure as heck ought to be able to fight for equal justice under the law in the state of Georgia.
You know, these are the days and the times. Today is May the 25th, 2013. My granddaughter went to her graduation this morning, and we wanted George Boston Rhymes to be there to do the recording. And we come to find out that he was denied access to the premises of the school. We find that very disturbing. It's very disgraceful. Here we are free people in a free society. And here's a man, because he's standing up for justice here in this city, he's getting discriminated against. He's being retaliated against because of no legitimate reason. And the school board have no right to do what they have done. This is a disgrace. And they should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done. This man haven't violated no law, but yet his rights was violated this morning. And we are sick and tired of it. We need some justice here. And we are crying out to everyone that's in the Justice Department to come down and really take a look at this when the citizens, this is Jim Crow at its best. These are the old laws that they used to work under, and they're still doing it here in Lowndes County. That's all I want. This is all that I want to have to say about this issue and this matter, because it's very, very, very disturbing when we always seem to be victimized and nobody don't want to discuss it, nobody don't want to talk about it, but because he's standing up for some people and trying to help them to come about some justice and equilibrium here in this city, he haven't violated no one's laws. He didn't walk on the grass and kill the grass. He didn't go and run into nobody's car. He haven't excited a riot of anything. This man was just simply denied because they have seen him produce these videos and this kind of thing. He's being retaliated against because he went to Atlanta to sit down with the Justice Department, and this is a form of retaliation. And I stand on his behalf to say this, that we asked him to come out to film our granddaughter this morning at a graduation. And it meant something for us to get this here on film for our family, okay? Because we got architects, engineers, and psychologists from our family. And we needed these moments captured. And they denied not only him, but us as well. I close this out by saying, it's a sad day here. It's a sad day here in Lowndes County. Very, very, very disturbing. And something needs to be done. Thank you so much.
Once again, this is John Robinson. This is kvci.blogspot.com. He asked me to cut this clip once I told him what had happened to me and the history that is developing around this unique person, George Boston Ryan. Thank you, Dr. Robinson, for telling the truth.
Well, there must be a God somewhere. Late in the night, I hear music in the air, in the lonely night. I hear music in the air. Oh, in the wee small hours of the night, I hear music in the air. There must be a God somewhere. So I'm gonna hold on just a little while longer.
How many of you voting for Hillary?
Hold on just a little while.
You don't have to raise your
longer.
hands. I do not blame you for wanting a female president. But that's a wicked woman. Now, listen, you can vote for her, but vote for her with knowledge. She can be sweet, but so can you. And you know when you're sweet but playing a game. All of a sudden she know about Trayvon Martin. All of a sudden. The boy been dead nearly 2 years. Now she's talking about him like she met the mother and these white people, this is Satan. and you fall for that crap. Most of you that went to jail for having a little blunt in your pocket, they arranged that, the Clintons. Mass incarceration came about under the Clintons. Don't forget that. They call my young gangbangers super predators. And Black Lives Matter put it to her. She didn't know how to handle that. Call you a super predator that has no conscience, no sensitivity, like you a dog, you an animal. We got to bring you to heel. You, my young brothers, this is what she said about you. And she didn't just say it. It became law and policy of the U.S. government under Bill Clinton and her wife, his wife, and now she's apologizing. But apologizing can't bring back the broken families. Apologizing can't bring back those that have been destroyed in prison life. Apologizing! She, in her person, orchestrated the destruction of Libya and the killing of Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi was my friend. He was my brother. She lied. He was going to kill all his people. No, he wasn't. He was just going to kill those rebels that America seized on their dissatisfaction, made a counter-revolutionary move, and then used it to bring NATO in to bomb and destroy his air defense, and then move to kill him. Now Libya is a failed state. All the refugees fleeing out of Syria, fleeing out of Libya, fleeing out of North Africa is because of policies of the government of the United States of America and her specifically. Now, when they release all those emails that they haven't released yet, it'll show you how she maneuvered our president. And maybe you won't think so well of her when you see how she talked to him. White people don't talk to black people. I don't give a damn what position you got, like you the boss. They always talk to you like they're the boss. Well, the only way you'll ever be the boss if you come and submit to Allah.
According to some, it's about protecting civilians.
And our resolve is clear. The people of Libya must be protected.
Others say it's about oil.
The only reason they're interested with Libya is about the oil. You'd think we'd be in Iraq if the major export there was broccoli.
But some are convinced intervention in Libya is all about currency, specifically Gaddafi's plan to introduce the gold dinar, a single African currency made from gold, a true sharing of the wealth.
It's one of these things that you have to plan almost in secret, because as soon as you say you're going to change over from the dollar to something else, you're going to be targeted. There were two conferences on this, one in '96 and another one in the year 2000, called the World Mataba Conference, organized by Gaddafi. And everybody was interested And I think most countries in Africa were keen.
Gaddafi didn't give up. In the months leading up to the military intervention, he called on African and Muslim nations to join together to create this new currency that would rival the dollar and euro. They would sell oil and other resources around the world only for gold dinars. It's an idea that would shift the economic balance of the world. Countries' wealth would depend on how much gold they have, not how many dollars they trade. And Libya has 144 tons of gold. The UK has double that, but 10 times the population.
If Gaddafi had an intent to try to reprice his oil or whatever else the country was selling in the global markets and accept something else as a currency, or maybe launch a gold dinar currency, any move such as that would certainly not be welcomed by the power elite today who are responsible for controlling the world's central banks. So yes, that would certainly be something that would cause his immediate dismissal and the need for other reasons to be brought forth for removing him from power.
It's happened before. In 2000, Saddam Hussein announced Iraqi oil would be traded in euros, not dollars. Sanctions and an invasion followed. Some say because the Americans were desperate to prevent OPEC from transferring oil trading in all its member countries to the euro. A gold dinar would have had serious consequences for the world financial system, but may also have empowered the people of Africa, something black activists say the US wants to avoid at all costs.
The United States should welcome the self-determination of Africans. They certainly have denied self-determination to Africans inside the United States, so we're not surprised by anything that the United States would do to hinder self-determination of Africans on the continent.
The UK's gold is kept here in a secure vault somewhere in the depths of the Bank of England. As in most developed countries, there's not enough to go around. But that's not the case in places like Libya and many of the Gulf states. A gold dinar would have given oil-rich African and Middle Eastern countries the power to turn around to their energy-hungry customers and say, sorry, the price has gone up and we want gold. Some say the US and its NATO allies literally couldn't afford to let that happen. Laura Emmett, RT, London.
You know, the last thing Dr. King said to me before he was murdered, Martin said, you know, I sit here deeply concerned that I suspect we are leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. Most of the politicians I know of make promises only to walk into the places of power and then deny us. I guess part of the reason I'm here is to really look through the ravages of the Democratic Party and see if anything is really worth salvaging.
Welcome, Senator Sanders.
If you line up Martin Luther King's social policy, there's only one candidate who lines up.
Sanders is the symbol for all that is right in this country.
He's an honest guy. He's one of the main people I think that really has a platform to really tell the truth to the people.
Bernie Sanders is bringing up a lot of issues that need to be dealt with.
The corporate media has been unfair to him.
We have some special guests joining us this morning. Senator Bernie Sanders and rapper and friend to the room, Killer Mike.
Yeah. Mike's like his #1 shooter.
If you work 40 hours a week, you should not be in poverty. That's why I'm here.
People are scared to go to the doctor because the bill will be so expensive.
We as a nation have a moral obligation to have universal health care. He is a champion for civil rights.
Ending a bullshit drug war. Making sure our children can go to college.
And ladies, we want our whole damn dollar.
When you have an opportunity to tell two black girls to shut up and get off stage and you don't, and you shake their hand and you smile and you step to the side and you listen, that is a firm difference from turning around and staring at a little black girl and saying, shut up, I'll talk to you later.
I want to know how you feel about somebody calling you their firewall. You have to earn the black vote. You don't own the black vote.
If I can find a picture of you from 51 years ago, chained to a black woman, protesting segregation, and I know 51 years later, you're willing to close your arms, hold your head, and listen to two black girls yell and scream, rightfully so.
My life matters!
As opposed to someone someone who will tell you to shut up, as opposed to someone who will tell you later when it comes to your children dying in the streets.
Erica Garner, the daughter of Eric Garner, who died in a police chokehold, is supporting Sanders.
Cornel West hitting the campaign trail for Senator Bernie Sanders.
The only one running without a super PAC, the only one ain't got all them big billions of dollars behind him.
Bernie Sanders is not just talking about it, he walks the walk. If we can abolish slavery in this nation, if women can get the right to vote, universal health care can happen.
Spike Lee is throwing his support behind the Vermont senator.
Tuition-free college can happen.
I'm not here to talk about a dream that we think is unattainable, so we settle for less.
This is no time to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism.
The cause is right, and the time is now.
That's why I've endorsed Bernie Sanders.
Now is the time to make real the promises of democracy. Now is the time.
Senator Sanders is the best option that we have in the race.
He is a champion for civil rights and social justice.
When Bernie Sanders took that step to say we need to address police brutality, in my opinion, that just speaks volumes when it comes to being courageous and being bold.
We make our history right here this moment.
The Bernie Sanders campaign is the love train. We spend more money in this country to keep folks in prison. Why can't we invest some of that money to educate folks? Get in on the movement.
Black Lives Matter.
You can't feel the burn. Don't you feel the burn?
Enough is enough.
Is enough.
Is enough.
And thank you so much.
Oh, that was rich.